Well, mine is. I was going to ask you a question.
I said you were the boss.
All right, we're calling the September 9th, 2019 City Council meeting to order.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
You timed that just right. You did that on purpose, didn't you?
That's a dramatic.
Yeah.
That's entry.
Sign you up for pressure hall and you're playing now.
You weren't sure you were one. Did you heard your name?
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion to approve the August 26, 2019 regular session minutes.
Second. Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes. Okay, now,
I make a motion to open a public hearing for the 2019-2020 operating capital budget.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes. Mr. Slagle?
Yes, Your Honor. Mayor, council, citizens, we're here tonight to go over the budget for fiscal year 2020. There we go. Okay, the budget is for fiscal year starting October 1, 2019 to September 30, 2020. This has been submitted in accordance with the Missouri state statute, and the budget is balanced. Every effort has been made to implement the policy direction of the City Council, provide service priorities to the citizens, and maintain the city's financial health. This budget maintains the fund balance reserves as required by City Council policy and utilizes surplus savings from prior years to help fund non-reoccurring one-time expenses and the purchase of capital assets. The City of Mexico adheres to the generally accepted accounting principles applicable to governments. Government finance is based upon fund accounting. Fund accounting is an accounting system which emphasizes accountability rather than profitability. Each fund operates like a separate business within the greater organization, and each fund accounts for different services and activities. Financial planning is an essential for sound fiscal management and stewardship of our resources. This budget serves that purpose through the formation of public policy, guide of operation, control of spending, and as a written financial plan. Core and essential city services always receive the highest priority in funding commitments. City staff continues to pursue partnerships, grants, donations, and other sources to help supplement funding for operation and capital projects. The preparation of this budget was a comprehensive team effort at every level of the city organization, and it has included citizen input. Unnecessary expenses has been removed, personnel costs have been controlled, and program efficiencies have been implemented, and the city is operating in a lean and condensed state. The total budget expenditures are estimated at $19,063,533, with total revenues estimated to be $17,202,850. The expenditures exceeds revenues by $1,860,683 and will be funded by project reserves, unreserved surpluses from prior year's budgets, and municipal bonds. The additional expenditures are for interfund transfers, planned capital equipment purchases, planned capital improvement projects, and carryover projects from prior year. Kind of a budget overview of the issues that we look at that guide the development of the budget. The city's total adjusted property valuations for this budget year did decrease slightly by 0.41% over the prior year. This was due to a decrease in personal property values. Retail sales tax receipts are down compared to last year's collections. Lodging tax receipts are stable, and gross receipts tax income is down compared to last year's budget. Reoccurring operational expenditures and the cost to replace capital equipment continues to increase on a regular basis. Missouri voters last November 6, 2018 passed Proposition B, the minimum wage initiative. The new law went into effect January 1 of 2019 and raised the minimum wage from $7.85 to $8.60, and the minimum wage will continue to increase 85 cents each year until the wage rate reaches $12 in 2023. Because of this increase in competition for part-time and seasonal workers, the city did increase our seasonal wage rates. On April 2nd of 2019, the citizens of Mexico approved the renewal of the existing sales tax for capital improvements. This sales tax is designated for the use in construction and repair of streets, curbs and gutters, stormwater piping, bridges, drainage ditches, and culverts, as well as other capital improvements. The internet has dramatically changed the face of retail sales. Consumers now can bypass local brick-and-mortar retail stores completely. Consumers are also using mobile devices and social networking sites to help influence their decisions. Each of these trends have made it more challenging for local retail stores to survive and has contributed accordingly to the reduction in the Mexico's retail sales tax collections. E-commerce now accounts for 14.3% of total sales in the U.S. as of the end of last year and growing. The state of Missouri has seen a 20% increase in online retail sales in the past 2 years, according to the Department of Revenue. The most recent report from the Missouri Department of Revenue Taxation Division estimates that the City of Mexico could capture over $152,000 annually if a use tax was approved. In addition, a year after the trade war with China started, the dispute is still raging on, and on soybean prices have hit a 10-year low, which is this country's largest farm export. U.S. farm income, commonly used to measure profits, has plunged 45% since its high in 2013. That's according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Missouri farmers continue to struggle to return to profitability that they've seen earlier in the decade, and all of which has had a negative impact on our local economy. The county assesses property at a percent of market value. Therefore, commercial property is assessed at 32% of market value, personal property at 33.3%, residential at 19%, and agricultural at 12%. Taxes are levied upon per $100 of assessed property values. What does this really mean? The simplest way to put it is if you have a commercial property that's assessed at $100,000, you're going to pay taxes on 32% of that, or $32,000 worth of its value. If you have a home that's valued at $100,000, you're going to pay taxes on $19,000 of its value. This year's total property valuation is $158,466,188 as compared to the previous year's total valuation of $159,115,737. So we had a decrease of almost $650,000 in property values. The city property tax rate is going to be adjusted in compliance with the Missouri State Auditor's Office pro formula calculation of the state-imposed revenue neutral formula. Last meeting, if you remember, we set the tax rates for this budget year, and the tax rate for the general fund is 43 cents. For the Park and Recreation is .0987, Public Health at .1975, for a total tax rate of 72.72 cents, and this is a change of a little under 1 cent or 1 penny as it relates to the previous year. City sales tax and gross receipts tax, as mentioned earlier, were anticipated to be down as far as sales tax and trending down compared to the 5-year average. Gross receipts tax are expected to be down slightly, and that's all related to a decrease in consumption and rates being reduced. Lodging tax receipts are anticipated to be similar to last budget year. As we look at insurance rates, property and liability insurance renewal rates are estimated to increase by 5% over last year. Employee health insurance premiums are estimated to increase by 10% effective January 1 of 2020. This budget includes the costs associated with continuing the high deductible health plan coupled with the use of a health savings account, and the increase will be split proportionally between employees in the city. Dental insurance premiums are estimated to increase by 8% effective January 1 of 2020. All insurance rates at this point for this budget have been estimated based on industry averages. However, all policies will be bid to ensure the best possible rates. Staffing needs. Full-time staff levels remain the same as compared to the current budget year. Entry-level public safety officers' positions will see a 3% increase for market adjustment. All other employees will be looking at a 2% cost of living adjustment. Support for outside agencies. Our charitable agencies, the Mexico Senior Center will receive $14,000, the Audrain County Historical Society, $4,900, Miss Missouri Scholarship Pageant, $10,000, Help Center, $5,000, Youth Optimist Sports, $5,000. These are being funded at the same level they currently are in the current budget. For our contract agencies, the Handy Shop that conducts the recycling program for the community, $19,000. Mexico Chamber of Commerce for the marketing program, $13,000. Presser Hall for community theater activities, $10,000. Mexico Chamber of Commerce for economic development activities, $5,000. And again, these are being funded at the same current levels that they have been. External revenue sources. This budget year, the city is planning to undertake a major swimming pool facility renovation and improvement project, the construction of a dog park, the construction of an ADA-approved playground, a sidewalk improvement project, and a runway displacement project. These projects, in whole or in part, are being funded by grants, donations, and some bank financing. Under the grant portion, MoDOT TEEP grant for $8,000 for a one-way street study, a MoDOT TAP grant for the Muldrow Street Sidewalk Project, $107,235, DOT Airport Layout Plan, $11,700, DOT Runway Displacement Project, $135,000. We are also anticipating the following donations this year. From the Audrain County Developmentally Disability Board, an ADA playground at Plunkett Park, a donation of $110,000 to help with that project. Private donations for the dog park construction, $50,000. Bank financing this year will also be estimated at this point for the pool renovation project of $2.4 million. To go into the individual funds, the general fund is the chief operating fund of the city. This fund supports those operations most identified with the city, such as public safety, administration, legal, finance, emergency management, engineering, stormwater, forestry, cemetery, community development, and street maintenance. The general fund budgeted revenue is estimated at $5,633,250 and total expenditures at $6,069,936. The estimated expenditures, qualifying capital expenditures, interfund transfers, and project reserves are greater than revenues by $436,686. Therefore, there is, because of the qualifying expenditures and the reserves, there is no cash balances that are being expended for reoccurring expenditures. So we're using past reserves to spend for capital projects. The ending fund balance by policy for the general fund is 25% of expenditures, less grants and non-reoccurring expenditures, and we have met that balance goal. Some of the significant projects and programs that are in the general fund this year: for public safety, officer ballistic vests, $34,000. Patrol vehicles, $62,000. Administration, network server, $62,400. PC station replacements, $11,777. Under community development, sidewalk replacement program, $7,500. Mid-size pickup truck, $24,000. Stormwater, annual improvements, $10,000. For a project at Fairgrounds and Lakeview, pipe replacement, $55,000. Forestry and brush grinding, a concrete pad extension for wood chips, $12,800. Cemetery, a spreader sprayer unit, $9,000. Snow blower attachment, $5,500. Street maintenance, dump truck, $65,000. Dump truck spreader, $18,000. A brush hog mower, $6,500. An open front shed, $15,000 for storage. Building and grounds, maintenance building, replacement of some windows, $4,000. Council chambers for a media presentation system in this room, $4,500. Under the wastewater fund, budgeted revenues are estimated to be $3,266,821, and operating expenditures are estimated at $2,483,999, plus an interfund transfer of $777,323 to the wastewater debt service fund, and a project reserve of $80,000 for total expenditures of $3,341,322. The minimum ending fund balance by policy for this fund has been met. The ending fund balance provides for 90 days of operating cash reserves, required reserves for facility restoration and replacement funds for upcoming bond payments and future capital improvements. This budget includes $796,000 in planned capital projects for this fiscal year. Those projects include a closed caption push camera for $15,000, safety walkway improvements at the plant, $15,000, collection system improvements, $75,000, collection system slip lining, $300,000, building improvements, $60,000, UV system covers, $16,000, jet truck cleaning equipment, $25,000, sewer cleaning easement machine, $45,000, wastewater treatment plant facility plan update, $53,000, engineering for designs, maps, surveys, hydraulic modeling, $17,000, lift station improvements for controls and alarms, $35,000, wastewater treatment plant drives and alarms, $50,000, lift station pumps, $90,000. This budget reflects a 3% adjustment in wastewater rates for the average residential user effective with the October 2019 billing. All cities across America are working on reducing their inflow and infiltration into their wastewater systems. The standard reduction capabilities are normally achieved by lining sewer mains and laterals, point repairs, pipe replacements, and rehabilitating manholes, all of which we are working on in this budget. The City of Mexico has had this program in place for some time and will continue the system improvements in an attempt to reduce the inflow and infiltration into the collection system. The Sanitary Sewer Fund, the expenses for the contracted residential refuse collection service, spring and fall cleanups, drop-off recycling, the household hazardous waste are all paid out of this fund. The expenses for running the forestry and yard waste disposal operations are split between the general fund and this fund. Budgeted revenues for the year are estimated at $619,943. Expenditures for operations are estimated at $614,935, plus a project reserve for equipment replacement in the amount of $11,000. The ending fund minimum balance by policy for the sanitation has been met. This budget anticipates a 2.5% rate adjustment effective with the April 2020 billing to meet the contractual operating expenses that goes along with the residential refuse collection service contract. Economic Development Fund. Budgeted revenues are estimated at $214,350 and expenditures are estimated at $119,810. Lease revenue received from the two city-owned industrial speculative buildings are deposited in this fund. Building owner expenses related to those buildings are paid out of this fund, which is estimated at $25,000 in this budget year. The expenses for job creation, retention, industrial recruitment, economic development planning are all paid out of this fund. The city also owns a railroad spur that serves the business park located in the industrial park. This spur is in need of ongoing repairs, and $10,000 has been budgeted this year to make necessary repairs. And the ending fund balance exceeds the minimum fund balance policy. Parks and Recreation. Parks and Recreation Fund budgeted revenue is estimated to be $4,730,394 and expenditures estimated at $4,861,754. The Parks and Recreation budget reflects a reduction in cash balances by $131,360 due to current year carryover of capital project, equipment purchase, and planned capital projects. The ending fund balance policy for the Recreation Fund is 17%, and the estimated ending balance is at 17%. City Council and staff have been working on a planning process for the major renovation of the pool facility. A total established budget for an aquatic facility renovation project has been set at $3.6 million. The planned funding for this project is 1/3 from cash, which we have in the Capital Project Reserve Fund, 1/3 from the Parks and Recreation Fund by way of park dedicated funding, grants and donations, operating savings, and the remaining 1/3 will require approval of a new funding source by the citizens. Therefore, the remaining 2/3 of that is the $2.4 million that we would borrow and use these other funds to repay that over time. Significant projects and programs within the Parks and Recreation Fund. We have a 16-foot equipment trailer for $2,900, a wide area mower for $54,000, a used pickup replacement, $7,500, utility body replacement, $8,500, dog park construction, $50,000, Garfield Park street entrance, $25,000, picnic tables, $9,500, Plunkett Park ADA playground, $190,000, and the aquatics facility design build project, $3,525,000. The dog park is being supported 100% by private donations. The Plunkett ADA playground is being supported by a grant from the Audrain County Developmental Disability Board in the amount of $110,000. And as I said earlier, the aquatics facility project will require a $2.4 million bank loan to complete. Public health, animal control. Revenue is estimated at $349,573, and expenditures are estimated at $378,291. The cost for running the animal shelter, nuisance abatements, dangerous building demolitions, pest control are all paid out of this fund. The reduction in cash balance is in support of the continued funding for the dangerous building demolition program, nuisance abatements, all of which we are currently experiencing an increase in requests to address. The ending fund balance goal by policy has been met. Airport fund. Budgeted revenues are estimated to be $220,405, and expenditures estimated at $233,026. A $35,000 transfer from the general fund and a $10,000 transfer from the capital improvement sales tax fund is being made to support operations and provide a grant match. The capital expenditures for the runway displacement project and the layout plan are funded 90% by a DOT grant. The total estimated grant income this budget year for these projects is $146,700. Ending fund balance is projected to be above the 17% minimum balance requirement. Capital Improvement Sales Tax Fund. The dedicated capital improvement sales tax and investment income is estimated to bring in $824,035 in revenue. All expenditures from this fund are for capital outlay projects and transfers that I will identify as listed here on this slide. The projects include asphalt overlays, $250,000. Sidewalk improvements, $50,000. Pavement and curb replacements, $60,000. A Smiley Lane extension design, $10,000. Mars Street extension design, $45,000. Project reserve, $20,000. We also have transfers to the general fund for the street maintenance and stormwater projects, $410,000. Airport fund for pavement work, $10,000. And to the MoDOT grant match fund for the TEEP and TAP grants, $54,000. The preparation of this budget document was a team effort. This timely preparation could not have been accomplished without the cooperation of the entire city staff. I would especially like to acknowledge Roger Haynes and all the department directors for their assistance in preparation of this budget, and I sincerely hope that this budget will be well received by the council and the citizens of Mexico. And I will attempt to answer any questions that you may have, Council.
I have a couple of questions. Well, actually, if you can just give me the information. Obviously, when we did the budget, there's been a big change. Teva's announced that they're closing. And I'm going to take them at their word that they're going to demolish the whole place. That's what they've said, pretty much. They're taking their stuff and they're going to bury it. That's going to have I'm going to say it's having a significant impact on our property taxes from the sense of not just property, but their personal property. And it's also going to have an effect on our wastewater because I understand they are a good water user in the community. So if you could just give me those numbers so we can plan ahead, and I'm hoping that we've planned ahead for the loss of that revenue. I can imagine it's going to be a little bit of money before it's all said and done.
We have had discussions already about those issues. And I don't think we have a good answer as of yet when it comes to like the property tax on personal property. We do know that their personal property went down a lot this year, and that's what led to part of the decrease we've already seen because they aren't running certain things out there, and so we've already felt some of that. We also know that they're intended to run into the first quarter of next year. Therefore, we probably, from planning point of view, you really have 2 years to line yourself for it, so that helps us as well. But you're right, we do need to look at that. For wastewater, they are a significant contributor, and that will have an impact as well as far as the income that comes in, especially as a business, as a commercial user. And we've started looking at those rates as well.
Yeah, I'm
what
not
kind of an
thinking-
impact that could have for us.
Not knowing that be, like you said, they're going to pretty much half the budget year this year, but next year's budget going forward.
Budgets going forward, we have
Yeah.
to take that in consideration, especially if we haven't seen something to replace it at that point.
Right, right. Especially when they announce they're going to just tear the whole place down, because it would be worth more if they left a building or some equipment or something there. But if they do like they say, I mean, it's going to devalue that property significantly. So that's all I have.
Any questions from the public? Do I have a motion then to close the public hearing?
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Budget.
Miller.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Okay, now for ordinance, 2 readings by title only and passage of Bill number 2019-65, an ordinance revising the budget for the city of Mexico, Missouri for the fiscal year October 1, 2018 to September 30th, 2019, inclusive, and adopting the budget for the fiscal year October 1, 2019 to September 30th, 2020, inclusive, appropriating the funds as allocated to various accounts and authorizing the expenditure of such funds by the city manager and other officials for the purposes indicated. Mr. Slagle?
I have no other comments unless you have questions, unless you want me to go over that again.
I may have missed it, but did we open the floor for public comments on the budget?
Yes.
Okay, I just didn't hear it. All right, because I was like, no.
I move for first reading of bill number 2019-65.
Second.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes. Bill number 2019-65, an ordinance revising the budget for the city of Mexico, Missouri for the fiscal year October 1, 2018 to September 30, 2019, inclusive, in adopting the budget for the fiscal year October 1, 2019 to September 30, 2020, inclusive, appropriating the funds as allocated to various accounts and authorizing the expenditures of such funds by the city manager and other officials for the purposes indicated. I move for the second reading of bill number 2019-65.
Second.
Miller.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Nichols. Briggs.
Yes. Bill number 2019-65, an ordinance revising the budget of the city of Mexico, Missouri for the fiscal year October 1, 2018 to September 30, 2019, inclusive, and adopting the budget for the fiscal year October 1, 2019 to September 30, 2020, inclusive, appropriating the funds as allocated to various accounts and authorizing the expenditures of such funds by the city manager and other officials for the purposes indicated. I move for second reading, the passage of bill number 2019-65. I want to read it again.
Second.
Third reading.
Second.
Miller.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Okay, other business claims.
Make a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Miller.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
All right, now for council comments.
Well, I guess you're looking at me, so I guess I'll start with me. Yeah, I would like to, Mike and I went to the production at Pressure Theater, Dances with Crows. I don't know if anybody of you did, but it's a fantastic piece of work. It's a genius of Lois Brace really at work. And so if you get a chance, there's next weekend. The tickets are selling out, but it's just sort of a unique piece of work. It's all based on people in Mexico, and so I encourage you all to see it.
I'd just like to thank the chief for having her people out at the expo yesterday. That was pretty cool. If you didn't get to go out there and see it, was really cool to see 2 ambulance helicopters land out there. So I think just one being there would be impressive, but they actually had 2. So it was a good time, and I appreciate you guys being out there.
Used to be a time when I used to be able to drive the fire truck around, and I've got my son doing it for me, so I lost out on that. But thanks for the budget. Well prepared, well read, Bruce.
If your son's driving a truck, does that make you old? I'd just like to thank the entire city staff that put the budget together. We had a pretty good budget meeting a month or 6 weeks ago, and you revised the budget. You presented again back in a form that we can understand it. And I just think you did a fine, fine job. That's all.
Mr. Slagle?
I have nothing this time, Your Honor.
I concur with Ms. Briggs. I got to see Presser's Dancing with Crows, and definitely thanks to everyone, all the department, Ruth Slagle, Roger, for all that you guys been doing for the budget of this year. I agree, it was done very well. Also, just a reminder, this weekend is Relay for Life. So if you're not doing anything, come out for that. I know I'm supposed to be doing something there. I don't know how I got into that one. Also, I think someone had sent pictures, I know I just didn't want to say names, about possible signage we could possibly use maybe downtown. Did you get pictures
Where?
from Bobby Joe?
Oh, yes, I like those, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that made some good sense. I will share that with Kenzie, yeah.
Yes, and so I got, unfortunately, I don't have my phone tonight, so I can't show you, but Bruce
Yeah.
has it.
Yeah.
Next month will be September 21st, so it'll actually be before our next city council meeting. That's still going on. And thank you, Roger and Chad, for showing up last time, in spite of all the crazy weather and other events. And that's it for me. At this time, do we have any comments from the public?
Hi, my name's Joshua Price, and I live at 116 Mary Street. We recently had one of our yearly disc golf tournaments Sunday at the disc golf course here in town, and I wanted to thank the city and the Parks Department for the work that you guys put in on getting the course ready for that. The grass was cut. It was with the rain. We got rain the morning of it, and then we were able to play. The grass was fantastic. Thank you. So I wanted to give you guys a disc. So this is one of the tournament discs that we have. So
We've actually got some of these from other years.
So thank you guys.
Thank you. This time, can I have a motion to adjourn into executive session?
I make a motion to adjourn into executive session pursuant to revised statutes of Missouri 610.021, litigation and personal matters.
Second.
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Hibbert?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.